What's up, YouTube University? How's everybody doing? I see we have a few more subscribers, which I appreciate very much. Thank you for watching, and welcome. So, I got kind of a short little video of a Genie commercial Jackshaft opener I want to show you a clip of, and I want your guys' opinion. These, LiftMaster, Genie, I'm a little bit disappointed that we don't have this option. I know it's out there and they can do it, but they won't release it to us. They do it for Overhead, a ribbon brand company, but they won't give it to us. And it really burns me because even if I had it as an option to pay $20, $100, $200 more, it might be something that I would upgrade and do. But they don't even give us the option, which really irks me. Because I think this is a better way to do it. The reason is there's my buddy Ted, good guy. He works at ABC Roofing Supply, and he actually at one time they had it's a Overhead RSX, and they had a broken spring on a bigger door. It probably was a 16 by 14 tall door, and I remember going there, and the spring was broke, and they were still using the door with that broken spring. You know, two springs up there, two big, large 6-inch springs. And I was amazed that that door was still running. He literally walked over and I said, "Oh, let me show you." Pushed the button and that door went up and down with no problem, no flaws. Now, don't get me wrong, the motor or the opener was probably working its hiney off. It didn't even sound like it. It just kept going. And I thought, there is no way that if that had a chain on it, that chain would not pop and throw the cables off. Or I'm sorry, pop and the chain would lose its limits and then throw the cables off. Now, I don't know how advanced some of you guys are with the garage doors, but if you're like me and you ever go to a bigger door that has the cables off, stuck in the air, you know that's the worst thing ever, because you're by yourself. Now you have a piece of a wall up in the air that could literally come down and kill you, and you like freeze, right? You do that. What am I going to do? And they say, well, we just kept pushing a button. So for this, right there, a light bulb went off my head, and I said, what is different with this situation versus other situations I've been in? And it was that they had the RSX, and it was direct couple. They take out that sprocket and that chain. That chain is a variable. That's a problem. It's something to pop and lose the limits. And once you lose the limits, it's game over. It's just a matter of time before something really gets screwed up, because you're either dealing with employees or, you just know how customers are. They don't know. So they push buttons on stuff. But finally somebody looked up and said, hey, the spring's broke, or they heard the noise or whatever. So we went there and fixed it and all that stuff. But they were still using the door after I left. I said, use it very sparingly and, be very cautious, because obviously the door can come down and crush somebody, but they could still at least use it for the forklifts and the semi-trucks. I felt confident when it was up, it was fine for that situation. So I basically just put one together recently, and I was really impressed. So I'd like to hear what your guys' comments and thoughts are on it, because I'm interested, and I really enjoy the feedback. I've read some really good comments. I'm sorry I don't get back to all of them, but some reason sometimes I get them that come through and notify me on my phone, and I try to reply to them right back as soon as I can. And then other times they're like buried, and then somebody will pop something or put something in there a few weeks or a month later, and I see that other people posted stuff. So shame on me. I got to do a little better, I guess. Diving into the YouTube website there to see all the stuff. But I just hope we can work as a community, and we can learn from each other and grow and do better, and also just make things safer for everybody else, and less problems for ourselves as installers and whatnot. So anyways, let's get to the clip and we'll go from there. Okay, we're gonna try this again. I want you guys to pay attention to this opener, how it's direct couple. There's no chain to go sloppy slop on it. It took some work, but we got her, and she's looking good. End up putting a spreader bar on it, kind of keep things mellow. Got the backing on the back there for keep them twisting. Myself and Dale got this running. It's looking good. You want to hit that button, Dale? Let's this guy up. So basically, instead of having to buy a $1,600 just cost RSX Genie, we actually have one now that's a direct coupler. Cool. Yeah, let's run it down. Thanks, Dale. Direct coupler though. That's the way it should be, boys and girls. Sweet. Okay, class. This is a good way to kind of... I'm back at this job. We ended up having to put this receiver on. And I just learned something. The old dog learned a new trick. So this guy, this end of this cord plugs in. I'd open this back up for you, but this thing's a real bear to get closed with that little screw. So anyways, this is off an old Osco opener. So this runs off 24 volts AC. Where that terminal connects in here, you're only going to get 24 volts DC. So these old receivers aren't going to work. So basically I'm going to have to get a new receiver, and I'll show a video of that when I get it in, and we'll go from there. So the receiver solved the problem. Got its own outlet. Hooked it up to our connections here. It's kind of a mess. I got to clean it up here. But yeah, that's working good now. We're up and running. Ran it off just a regular remote. A little high up in the sky here. So, working good. That's how you do it. Tie it, get an external power. Well, my technician just told me though, he thought he did one off a 4-wire, but you'd have to, problem is there's not enough. There's only 3 wires on that. If it had 4, that'd be a lot better. So, something to think about if you're dealing with the Genies. Okay, so we're back. So looking at that video, there's a few things before anybody comments and says, oh my gosh, that's a horrible install, blah, blah. I did put a cover on the outlet. You know, you can see the blue, you can see the outlet. I was just taking it in the midst. I wasn't quite finished putting it all back together and cleaning it up. If you would have seen it before, I think there was 3 junctions in there for light outside security cameras in the old Osco opener. So that, what you see there is a lot cleaner. And I went above and beyond, took care of that for the customer. So, another thing is, just so you know, I overlooked the receiver on that. It probably cost anywhere from basically $100 more for that receiver. And that was something that was my fault. I overlooked that. But one thing I want you to remember, college is not free. Remember that. College is not free. So my mistake, I learned something. Couple $100, not a couple thousands or millions like some people spend. So I'm not going to beat myself up too bad for that. I learned something, won't happen again. Won't repeat it. So with that terminal that plugs into that opener, I honestly don't know really what is that good for in a sense. I guess it gave me two contacts, you know, to get that receiver to work. So yeah, otherwise it seems to work. I love it. I want to do more of them. I think that thing, it rocks and rolls really good. It was basically like kind of like installing the 8500, but a lot better, if you know what I mean. So just kind of coupled it on there, made sure it had some support on the other side, and this is going to be a guinea pig. It's already been in there for about 2 or 3 weeks now, and not one call. And honestly, I don't think we'll get any calls on it because it works really nice. So anyways, as always, I hope you guys learned something. Maybe like, share, comment below. Like I said, I'd like to know what your guys' opinion is on that opener. If you'd like to see maybe the vendors, maybe Genie will listen. Genie and LiftMaster, maybe they'll give us that option. But as of right now, it's the only thing I can do is just build them myself. So anyways, take care, guys. See ya, and Happy New Year.